Good afternoon. Finally got Dylan down. He's taking a nap right now. So you might see my cat walking back and forth here too. He's very interested. This is Magoo. He's interested in what's going on, so you might see him walking around during our lesson. So we are actually on lesson 9-5 from our Envision program. I know that the kids don't have the activity sheets at home because their books are at school. But as I advised earlier in one of my videos and on Class Dojo, is that if you, parents, if you create these two tens frames on a piece of paper for your children and then find them one of the counters, suggested counters that I mentioned up here, they can use that in the lessons. Make sure they have paper to write because I will ask them to, maybe write some numbers down and stuff. So I'm using these, my son's magnets, as my counters, so I'll fill them in the boxes when we're counting. But some other things, you could do checkers, goldfish, Cheerios, pennies, and if you have any other suggestions, feel free to tell me on the dojo, and I can add them to the chart to help other parents. So our objective today, boys and girls, is that we are going to be able to count forward from any number to 20. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to start by counting my magnets, or what I'm using as my counters. And first, I'm going to start by counting all the way to 20. And as I do that, I'm going to fill my tens frames. Okay, so remember that this is called a tens frame because there are 10 spaces. And I've also taught you in class that, like, if you see that this tens frame is completely filled with counters, you don't even have to actually go through and count. You can just say, oh, there's 10 here. 10, 11, 12, and so on. So let's start by counting. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So there I have 20 counters. One tens frame is 10, plus another tens frame. So 10 plus 10 is 20. And when we did our 100th day of school, we did count by tens hopscotch on the floor. So even though you don't have hopscotch, the markers at home, you can pretend, kids, and you can jump, and as you jump, count by 10. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. All right, so like I said, our objective today is that we want to count forward from any number up to 20. So I am going to clear some of my magnets or my counters away, and you can do the same at home. Okay. So first I need to figure out how many counters are here. Well, I don't need to count these because they're all full, and if this is the tens frame, then I know that there are 10 there. Okay. Then some of you may even be able to say, well, I don't have to count these either because I know that if there are 10 here and this top row is filled, it's 5, and I know 10 plus 5 is 15. But if you need to count, that's okay too. So we have 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So my kids know when I write in blue, and they probably just said, you write 2. What's in blue? You write 2. So I'm writing in my blue marker, so those of you at home can do the same thing on your piece of paper. So how many counters did I just count? 15. So I have 10 plus 5 is 15. So I'm going to write the number 15 right here. Okay. So I have 15 counters right now. Now, what I want to be able to do is make this my starting number. So I want to be able to count from 15 up to 20 without starting all over. So that means I can start from any number and count up to 20. So instead of going, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, all the way up to 15 through 20, I'm going to start 15. Then what comes next, class? 16. Then 17. 18. 19. 20. Okay, now let's try another number. So now I'm going to take away 3 more counters. So 1, 2, 3. Okay. Just make another space here to write some more numbers. So I'm going to start counting. I'm going to count everything this time to find out how many counters I have here. Now, some of you may be thinking, okay, well, if Mrs. Hill had 15 counters and she just got rid of 3, you could do 15 minus 3 also. But we can also count. So if you're thinking right now, 15 minus 3, think of that answer and keep it in your head or say it out loud. You're at home, so you can say it out loud. And then after I count, see if you were right. So think of 15. I had 15 counters and I got rid of 3. Ready? Let's see what we have. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I have 12 counters. Or I could say that 15 minus these 3 that I pulled down, take away 15, 14, 13, you have 12 left. So now I want to write the number 12 down. I want you to take a moment at home and I want you to start at 12 and then I want you to write down the numbers through 20. Okay? And if you're struggling to write them down, because I know that you don't have the resources that we have in the classroom where you're used to looking at the number line, you have number lines on your desk. If it's too much to write it down right now, you could just count it. But the idea is that you want to be able to start at 12 and count up to 20 without starting all over at 1. So take a minute to do that. Okay, so all right, so I'm going to draw something here that will help you at home. Now this is suggested in the Envision Math program. So this is something that your parents, you may want them to do for you. The kids can all write their numbers 1 through 10. Parents, you might need to help with 11 through 20. So I'm just going to write across the top. I'm going to do 1 through 10 and then 11 through 20 underneath it. And then if you can, if you have a sheet protector at home, you could put it inside a sheet protector to be able to use the same number line for all of your work. Okay. So, and then actually what I'll probably do is after I create this number line, this is just something that I'll use when we do our online counting, something that we have that we can use. So I'm going to do, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I guess I'm not going to be able to fit it all. 6, 7. Let me get another piece of paper. I'm writing a little bit bigger so you can see what I'm doing, but you can figure this out to like fit it all on one piece of paper instead of doing 2 like I am. So parents, whatever whatever you want to do to create like a number line for your child. You can also, believe it or not, I don't have Post-its at my house. I'm out of them. It's crazy. I have chart paper, but I don't have Post-its. But what I would, if you had Post-its at your house, write a number on each Post-it and like hang it up on the wall somewhere for them to use. All right, so 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. All right, and then just want to use the black to kind of separate the numbers so that they don't all run together for the kids. Okay, so 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 20. Okay. All right, so there's our number line. So what you can do, like I said, if you do, I don't know if you have sheet protectors at your house or dry erase markers, but dry erase markers you can actually write on sheet protectors with. So if you did create something like this on one piece of paper, you put it in a sheet protector, they can use the dry erase marker to circle the number that they are starting on, okay? For instance, I'm probably just going to end up making another one of these just so I can show you because I don't have sheet protectors at my house either. So like let's say we are going to start on the number 8, okay? And I want you to be able to count all the way up to 20 starting from the number 8. So you could have them find it on the number line here and circle it with a dry erase marker. And then you can have them start at 8 and count 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, all the way up to 20, okay? You can also do like an addition problem with it. So let's say I want you to count 5 spaces. 1, 2. So let's say you want them to do 8 plus 5 and actually write the sequence of counting. So we would do 8 plus 1, 2, and then that would go on to 11, would be 3, 4, 5. So I did 5 jumps. Here's a jump, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I did 8 plus 5, okay? And then I could circle what my final answer is, and I could write down that sequence of numbers. So 8, then we would have 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay? Oops. And I'm going to get one more piece of paper, and then I'll show what I'd like the kids to do at home for homework, I guess. Parents, you can take a picture of the work and submit it to the class Dojo if they do this. Let me grab one more piece of paper. Okay, so this is what I'm going to show you like what the homework and the Envision and the actual program looks like too, and try to get it as close as I can to. I don't want to make it too complicated for you to have to draw all this out for the kids and everything. So let me see. So your tens frames that you created for your child. Okay. Let's say the first one, I'm going to do the number 9. So we'll just say that's the first one, okay? So they're going to show 9 in their tens frames. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, so they show 9. So you make sure that they can count 9. And then have them fill in or count up to 20 using the rest of the boxes. So just kind of pointing like this. So they have 9, all right? They put their 9 counters. All right, so now we're going to start counting just at 9 all the way up to 20. So we start at 9. So you start at the last counter that you put on there. Don't start here. It's not going to be right. So you got to start at 9. This is your last counter. Starting at 9. Then we do 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Okay? Parents, you can also film them doing that and add it to their portfolio if you want to. So then have them envision they have them write the number, but I have to give you the number since you don't have the actual activity sheet. So give you the number 9, they show the counter, see if they can start at that number, count all the way through 20. So I'll just write count through 20. Okay, and then let's have them write a sequence of 3 numbers after 9. Okay, so they would write here, if this was the problem, they would write 10, 11, 12. Okay, so the next one, so this is the one we did together. The next one I'm going to give you, I'm going to say, let's see, start at 13. Okay, so put your counters up, 13 counters. I have 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Started with my 13 counters. Now I'm going to start counting at 13. So you try it. Start at 13, 13, go. So hopefully you counted through 20. Okay. So count through 20, just draw an arrow. And then you're going to write what the next numbers would be. And here we have some more space so we can write even more numbers. Okay. So at home, if you started at 13, what comes next? 14. Then what? 15. Then what? Then what? Good. Okay. So I will give you a few more to practice at home without me. I'm going to do 17. Sorry, I make my 7s like that sometimes. I'm trying to get out of that habit. And let's do 11. Okay. So show your counters. Try counting through 220 using the spaces to help you. And let's do 17. Let's do a few more sequences here. Parents, I'll also post this on Dojo. I mean, if you have a printer at home, you can take a picture that, save the picture and print it for the kids to complete, or you can just have them do it on a piece of notebook paper. All right, so that's our math lesson for today.